Okay, so ignore any background noise. 265. Howbeit, you need clear and concise instructions, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Below I've listed the steps. Ignore any stomach noise too. To set in healthy boundaries around yourself in a few steps to enforcing these boundaries. 1. Devils can't be domesticated. What this means is try as you may. You can't talk a devil out of being a devil. Out of being evil. After all, the word evil is found in the word devil. In other words, stop trying to change people who love being toxic. Come to realize that they get to choose the lives and the lifestyles that they want. Just like you get to choose what you want your life to look like. Stop thinking that you have their best interest in mind and do what you need to do to get your healing. Whatever and if ever they decide to heal, that's a journey that they have to take independent of your influence. And I guess this is what people mean when they talk about savior complexes. I know, like, the mental health system, they try to make you feel like just because you think you have a purpose in life and just because you do want to help people, that's having like magical thinking in a savior complex, but that's not true. Really, what having a savior complex would be is trying to help people who don't want it, which is still kind of separate than the let me help you lunatics. I can't say that some of them may seem to have a savior complex, but honestly, let me help you lunatics are more so people who are just doing things to look good, or sometimes people who are in your same situation or worse, and they know they can't help and they know you don't want their quote unquote help because there's nothing you can do to help. Because like I said, let me help you lunatics are commonly pop up when you're trying to do the lay low till 18 thing. Which is why there's nothing that they could really do to quote unquote help. And they usually just do things to try to get you turned in and locked up. But it's like, they seem similar, but honestly not really. It's not really a savior complex when you're a let me help you lunatic. Maybe to a certain extent it can be, but it really just seems like a lot of ego stuff there. But the savior complex could be like if you're in these quote unquote relationships where you keep trying to help people who don't even treat you right and really don't want help and don't want to change, stuff like that. Now I gotta remember what I'm at. That's a journey that they have to take independent of your influence. To write the vision and make it plain. This is something that I was told a couple times, so to make a vision board. At least that's what I had people telling me on the East Coast. To make a vision board. And honestly, that was the one good thing that let me help you lunatic type people did say. And I'm not gonna lie though, sometimes they do give good advice. Like I remember this one let me help you lunatic pedo lady. She was like, one of the things, I'm probably not gonna say this right, but one of the things you have to do to better your situation is focus on what you do want and not what you don't want. Because a lot of people know what they don't want, but they don't know what they do want. And that was honestly good advice. And that lady was really toxic, but that was good advice. So sometimes you gotta take like the little bits and pieces that are sound out of what people like that say. Okay, where am I? Oh yeah, make it plain. Take some time out of your day for the next few days and write down some of the issues that you've had to endure over the course of your life, especially the last 5 years. After you're done, establish rules to prevent these things from happening again. Well, I don't know. What came to my mind isn't really necessarily something I can prevent from happening again, but I was thinking more self-health stuff with like the iatrogenic effects, but there definitely are other things that I can't prevent though.